Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Business Expert Series with views and opinions on topical issues facing business owners today. This morning, we're here with Tracy Hutty from Banks Cooper. How are you doing, Tracy?
I'm very well, thanks, Mike. How are you?
Yeah, really well, thank you. Thank you very much for joining us today. So if you could start us off and tell us just a little bit about who you are, what you do, and how long you've been doing it for, please.
Okay, yeah, so as you said, I'm Tracy Hutty. I'm a partner at Banks Cooper. We're a firm of accountants and business advisors. Our head office is in Hull, but we also have offices in Leeds and London. As a firm, we offer everything from kind of bookkeeping right through to year-end accounts, tax planning, but we have a very specific focus on management accounting, trying to help our clients to understand the numbers and make sure they look at them regularly. So that kind of helps with planning and forward thinking. I've been an accountant, I realise now, for about 30 years. Which is
wow, it's a good long time that.
Yeah, longer than I realised, but there you go.
Plenty of experience there.
Yeah.
Which is great for clients, I'm sure. So in that experience, in that time, that 30 years that you've been in the sector, what would you say the most common mistakes or challenges that business owners face when it comes to their finances?
Yeah, so I think, I was thinking about this, I think the main mistake that we see is lack of planning and just forward thinking. So, for example, a new business, quite often they make a business plan in order to borrow money, and then they throw that business plan in a drawer and never look at it again because they've got the money, and then they just get on. And that kind of not thinking back and seeing if we're running to plan. The same kind of thing with a new business. They have a new idea, they jump into it. And like for me, I think just the kind of thinking forward, it doesn't have to be 100%, but just having a bit of a plan of something to work to and something to check back to. So you know you're going in the right direction, or the direction you thought you were going in. And you know, obviously things change and plans change, but I think for me, you need to be able to measure that financial impact to know if you're successful in what you do.
Yeah, sat nav sort of analogy in a car. If you don't,
absolutely.
You don't go around in circles, and if you're not hitting those milestones, those destinations along the way, it can be a tricky affair to actually understand what the point of it is. Good, yeah. Thank you very much for that. So, through your eyes, with sort of being an accountant and in the accountancy industry, what do you think is most likely to affect the economy over the next year or so? I know we've seen a lot of interesting challenges, should we say, and changes over the last few years. As far as what you could see, what's going to affect things coming forward?
Yeah, so the main one I think is kind of obvious at the moment is this sort of inflationary environment that we're in. Right, prices are rising across the board on everything, and that puts pressure on every business monitoring the costs. Obviously something we're quite keen on, but it's putting pressure on wages. If you've got good staff, you've got to pay a reasonable wage to keep them, but you know, it's a vicious circle that we're getting into. So I mean, my advice to anybody on this at the moment really is turn off the news. Ignore the constant cost of living crisis, doom and gloom, and look around at where you are and actually what's happening, because in a lot of cases I actually think it's not as bad as the news tells us it is. And focus on what you can control in your business. Ignore what everybody else is telling you is going wrong, and just deal with that. But yeah, I think the rising prices is where our issues are going to be this year.
I think another great there and piece of advice on ignoring the news and not making it as bad, and controlling the controllables. Some of the words that they use in the headlines and all that, you think, you know, the world's going to end tomorrow kind of thing, but keep going and control what you can. A great share. So thanks for that, Tracy. So in terms of looking at yourself as a business owner, being in business and reflecting on what you've learned over all those years, if there's one lesson, what would the biggest one be?
I really struggle. There's so many things I've learned, because I think if you're open to learning, that's really important. And I knew you was going to ask me this question, so I've actually narrowed it down to two. So I do apologise, I couldn't get to one. So
that's fine. I mean, ultimately, I think the more that we can share, and the more less share that can benefit other people, then.
Yeah, so my first one, I think, is surround yourself with positive people, both within your business and outside. And I think even if you're having a bad day, if there's positive people around you, that lifts your spirit and helps you move forward. And the second one's really just if you love what you do, it's not work. And I think that's pretty key to everything. If you don't love what you do, and think again, would be my.
So can I assume then that in terms of what you're doing with those 30 years, that you love what you do?
I've had moments when I haven't, but I love what I do.
I think it's normal to have the ups and downs. But so in terms of inspiration that you use, then obviously you love what you do. What's kind of the inspiration to drive that passion?
For me, I've always had since I was a kid, to be honest, a kind of love of business and the wanting to be in control of what I do in my own destiny. Accountancy I kind of fell into because I happen to be quite good at it. But what it does for me and why I love it is that I'm running my own business, but I help other people with their business. And I think that's the best of all the worlds for me, because I can get quite deeply involved with a lot of strategy and stuff with all kinds of different things. And I just love it.
Brilliant. It does, I think fundamentally a lot of what drives people is helping other people, and no matter what sector they're in, the business owners that we speak to, it seems to always come down to that aspect of helping people.
It does, and I think also when you're dealing with lots of different sectors, there's things that work really well in one that you can actually pan that over to a completely different sector that you wouldn't necessarily think of. So when you get quite deeply involved with your clients, there's certain things that they'll say and you think, oh, do you know, that could really help this other person, and it's that seems really satisfying. It's just learning and sharing.
Yeah, I was going to say you must get a lot of satisfaction from doing that, taking that lesson and applying it over there and helping more and more people. So what sort of impacts do you want to have on the economy that you work within? Is there a sort of a lasting impression or kind of leaving things in a better way than when you found them?
Yeah, I think so. I think again, if you went working with different people, if I can help them be successful, their success then impacts the local economy to them. And if everybody does well, by default, everybody connected to them around them does better. So I think, I'm not sure it's my legacy, but that would be nice.
Yeah, brilliant. And then where are you guys based? I know you've got a few offices around.
Yeah, so our head office is actually in Hull, and then we have offices in Leeds and London. Okay, fantastic. We work with people nationwide because the internet's a wonderful thing.
Brilliant. So you got clients all over the country, is that right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And if we want to go and find out more about your services, where can we go? What's the website, and we can check it out?
Yeah, so the website is www.bankscooper.co.uk.
Okay, fantastic. Tracy, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for sharing your experiences, and I'm sure they will help a number of business owners, and I wish you all the best for the next 30 years.
Yes, thank you, and the same to you. Thanks, Mike. It's been great.